welcome. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin and the Chicagoland area. For those who are listening in their cars right now, thank you so much for not turning the radio dial. For those who are listening on the YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or Facebook at The Jaime Dee Show, I really appreciate you. And we're also live on Instagram right now. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you guys on my show. Now, I want you guys to stick around because for today's show rundown, we're going to have a conversation on the daily news. And then we're going to have one of the biggest entertainment media publicist out of Atlanta joining me live. Her name is Leslie Tops. You don't want to miss her. She's going to be dropping gems, giving out free game, and telling you all about how she got her start in the industry. So if you want to get into the entertainment industry, you may want to stick around, okay? You know, I bring some good people on the Jaime Dee Show. All right, let's get in on this daily news. So according to ABC7 Chicago, frustrations filled the Harvey City Council chamber on Monday night while tenants who say they were boarded up inside their apartments remain in limbo. Quote, even though I didn't make the call, I didn't make the decisions, even though I wasn't aware, I'm still an alderman, and that makes me just as responsible too, end quote, said the 4th Ward Alderman Tracy Key. A seemingly divided and heated Harvey City Council meeting got underway on Monday. Quote, one could assume that the city of Harvey at large had some peace in this, end quote, said the 2nd Ward Alderman Kobe Chapman. Quote, this building that was uninhibited on 144th and Halstead was deemed uninhabitable by professional certified code enforcement officers, end quote, said the 6th Ward Alderman Tyrone Rogers. As the city council was addressing the concerns at the apartment complex, tensions flared between Mayor Christopher Clark and 2 alder people. Quote, I didn't interrupt you and don't interrupt me, end quote, Rogers said. Quote, you're about to be escorted out in a minute, end quote, said Mayor Christopher Clark. Ended with both alder people being escorted out of the chambers. This comes as tenants back at the apartment complex received food and portable heaters from Andrew Holmes and other community leaders on Monday while still living in despair. Quote, angry, upset, furious, like who does this to human beings? End quote, said one-year resident Mark Montgomery. Montgomery said he doesn't know where he'll be living in the next coming days or weeks. Harvey City officials claim the property owners began boarding up these apartments last Friday due to what the city calls unsafe and dangerous living conditions. Some tenants said they were still inside their homes at the time of the board up. Quote, I start hearing the boards going up on my windows and everything, and I opened the door like, what are you doing? End quote. And like they told me, we're just doing what we're told, Montgomery said. I felt lost, lonely, depressed, scared, said 4-year resident Genevieve Tyler. On Monday night, it seemed to be a blame game about who called for the property to be boarded up. Clark said it was the property owners, but the owners over the phone and through a written statement claim it was the city's call. Quote, they will have to have a conversation with me on that because I haven't heard from them. Once again, it's private property. What we did was send them a letter letting them know that there were deficiencies, letting them know that the consequences of those deficiencies, and they decided to take action on their own anyway, Clark said. Clark ended the meeting calling on the council's future support to change existing ordinances so this hopefully doesn't happen again. There's still no word on when or if the tenants will have to move. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that is insane. I don't know if you guys follow any of the Chicago pages on Instagram, but I did see a video of this African-American woman and a bunch of other people who were actually there at the scene when this was all happening. There were no police, apparently. There were no city people, apparently. And this was just the company who was doing this. And they were screaming at these people so hard, like, why are you doing this? That's so not cool. Like, this is unhuman. Like, you're boarding people up. Apparently, there was a guy who was in the 70s who was boarded up. Like, it was a really sad and weird situation because I get we all have jobs to do. But when do we take a step back and say, hey, I'm human? Hey, I shouldn't be doing this. Hey, I should stick up for what's right. And in this instance, nobody stuck up for what's right. I get it. We all have bills to pay. I get it. A lot of us are struggling, especially in Chicago. I don't know if y'all seen the rent here. It's funny. I lived in 9 major cities and people were like, oh, you know, at least you don't got to pay the same rent as you do in LA. And I'm like, no, it's pretty high here in Chicago. The cheapest rent I've ever had in the 9 major cities I lived in was Atlanta. I pay like $725 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, fully loaded apartment. And then in just recently, Las Vegas, before my apartment had flooded. I was paying $1,100 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and then $1,030 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So it's very expensive here in Chicago. I can't even find a 1-bedroom that has the amenities that I need that they consider luxury without seeing a price of $1,500 and more, and still not getting washer and dryer, and still not getting parking, and still not getting central AC. I get it's cold AF here, but still. But with that being said, it's cold AF here, and you're boarding up these people's homes. What people need to go to the hospital? What people need to go see somebody? What people need to just get outside? And you're boarding up these places for what? For what? I mean, it ain't like you're about to tear it down tomorrow. It ain't like you need it right away. Yes, it is unlivable conditions, but I feel like there should be protocols that people should take, especially those in that industry, to make sure people are safe. I just don't get it. All right. The man recorded on video jumping a table and charging at a Las Vegas judge, attacking her and her staff, appeared before the same judge Monday morning. Judge Mary Kay Holthus had ordered Deborah Redden, 30, to appear in court, quote, by any and all means necessary, end quote, for the interrupted sentencing hearings continuance, as the 8 News Now investigators first reported. Redden, who was sentenced from 19 months to 4 years on an attempted battery charge, appeared in the courtroom wearing a mask and surrounded by court marshals as 2 Metro police officers held onto him. Now, if you guys didn't see that picture, it was a sight to behold. There were a lot of different comments about, like, that's how modern day slavery looks like, and he deserved it, and da-da-da-da. It's a lot going on. You guys have to look at those comments, because those comments are insane. And yes, they had the man in a muzzle. He really did. Before sentencing Redden, Holthus said that she did not modify or change her decision on his sentence because of the attack. Quote, I want to make it clear that I'm not changing or modifying the sentence I was opposing last week before I was interrupted by the defendant's actions, end quote, she said. As the 8 News Now investigators first reported last Wednesday, Redden, a 3-time felon, was in Holthus' courtroom for sentencing on a charge of attempted battery with substantial bodily harm. As Holthus was getting ready to sentence Redden to prison, he lunged over the bench and attacked her. And again, if you guys didn't see this video, it was a sight to behold. After leaping over the bench, Redden allegedly slammed Holthus' head against a wall, struck her once on the head, and pulled some of her hair out. The document said she then hid under her desk, balled up, covering her face. The ensuing struggle lasted several minutes. Holthus Marshall received a gash on his head and received 25 stitches. Following the attack, the Holthus courtroom underwent a hazmat cleaning due to blood in the courtroom from the fight. Redden also hit and punched a corrections officer who was present in the courtroom, documents said. Holthus law clerk Michael Lasso was cut several times on his hand in the melee. Court minutes posted regarding last Wednesday's hearing said officers remanded Redden into custody, quote, due to a disruption in the courtroom, end quote. Redden told corrections officers he had a bad day and tried to kill her. Why would he tell them that? According to documents, the 8 News Now investigators first obtained last Thursday. Holthus was preparing to sentence Redden to prison time before he attacked her, video showed. Redden's attorney had asked Holthus to sentence his client to probation. Prosecutor Richard Scow asked Holthus to consider sentencing Redden to 19 to 48 months in prison. Redden faces new charge for what happened in court and a completely new case. And he actually appeared in court yesterday. If you guys didn't see that video, the new judge, which is a Caucasian woman, threw the hammer. And when I say hammer, I mean she threw the hammer at this man. It was a pretty sad video. I mean, I'm not for him attacking a judge, and you get what you get when you attack a judge. You get what you get when you attack somebody of that stature. So I can't and will not support that or protect him or defend him. It is what it is. But his family did come out and say that he had a lot of mental issues, and they feel as though the courts aren't protecting his mental issues and seeing the things that he's dealing with and understanding that he needs help and not just jail. As the 8 News Now investigators reported last Wednesday, Redden was previously in front of Holthus on charges of malicious destruction of property. Holthus granted him probation in that case. Records show he served prison time on a domestic battery charge for a year starting in 2021. In that case, a different judge sentenced Redden to prison for a term of 12 to 30 months. He's a repeat offender. I mean, I personally don't see him being out on the streets, so that's just how I feel. Hey, shout out to AJ Powell, shout out to Kara, shout out to Loren, shout out to Gina Chandler, shout out to Kenyatta Burton, shout out to Naturally Radiant. We got Zetas and Sigmas in the chat. Shout out to Gina, shout out to Kara from Arizona, shout out to everybody who's on the Instagram right now as well. I really appreciate you for joining in. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna have one of the biggest entertainment and media publicists, out of Atlanta, joining me live, the beautiful Miss Leslie Tops. Don't go nowhere. This is the Jaime Dee Show.
Keeping your car's coolant system in good shape with a regular flush is really important. Let the experts at Meineke Car Care Center at 376 Sundown Road in South Elgin remove your old coolant, preventing chemical buildups in your engine. Then they'll fill your entire system with new coolant to help your engine run smoothly and prevent rust and corrosion, increasing your engine's lifespan. To schedule your appointment, call 847-888-9644. LaFleur Taco Grill at 910 Dundee Avenue at the corner of Slade has great fast casual Mexican food for the whole family. There's a huge selection of salads, quesadillas, a Taco Tuesday special, burritos, gorditas, and the Thursday Flautas dinner deal. LaFleur Taco Grill also has American favorites and breakfast. There's a kids menu too. Planning an event? LaFleur has catering with both Mexican and American foods. Call 847-214-1306 or LaFleur Taco Grill on Facebook.
For a little lighthearted lawlessness on Sunday afternoons, listen to Handle on the Law from 4 to 7 p.m. Handle on the Law is a unique combination of useful legal advice and outrageous handle remarks. Whether you're talking about Big Brother, big business, big legal problems, or Big Macs, you'll rarely find Bill without an opinion. His rapid-fire commentary gives listeners the information they crave in the way they crave it. It's Handle on the Law, Sunday afternoons from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin and the Chicago land area. If you're just now joining in, I went over some daily news, and now we are at the best part of the show. Y'all, I am super ecstatic for this because I've been waiting for this moment. If you guys don't know who this wonderful, amazing, beautiful, talented, resourceful, and the who's who of Atlanta is, you are missing out. I want to introduce to you all this awesome lady named Leslie Tops, who is a global creator, innovative entrepreneur, and owner and founder of the Tops PR firm, The Pen Den, and Stitch Me Please, who is about to join me live to talk about her many businesses, because you know she out there doing the darn thing, how she got her start in the entertainment public relations field, how she gets her clients seen, because let me tell you this, one thing I know about Leslie Tops, when I lived in Atlanta, she was everywhere and still is after all these years. How she gets her clients booked, not just seen, because booked, seen are two different things. She'll be having them booked, seen, and busy. Her background in music, radio, and working with indie music artists and more. So without further ado, let's welcome in Leslie Tops. Leslie, you're muted right now.
Oh my goodness, Jamie. I'm like, I want to meet this person you introducing, honey, because I love it. Thank you. I really appreciate you. That made me feel good. That made my day.
You deserve it. You deserve your flowers. You deserve that bell ring. And one thing I'm super excited for is that what people don't know is there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes in the entertainment industry as a whole. And one thing you do is you have your hands in so many different pots. And you actually bring a lot of your clients onto my show, some small, medium, and large. And I was like, hold on. Why have we not brought Leslie Tops on the show? Whoa. And now we're finally here. So I'm super excited to introduce you and welcome you to the Jaime Dee Show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing really good. I am in a new space. As I was coming into 2024, I could just feel, you know, sometimes you just feel stuff. And I want to say this to Jamie. I know you've never interviewed me before, but can I be myself? Can I just
be yourself? This is a safe space.
That's what I like to do. Thank you. And for the viewers,
Go ahead.
I was going to say really quickly for the viewers, I'm actually on the chat with you all. So if you have a question, I can look at the chat and answer the question. So thank you all for listening and watching.
We love that. Yes, we are live on the radio in Vegas, live in the Elgin and Chicago area. We're live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at the Jaime Dee Show. So make sure to ask Leslie Tops questions because She out here dropping gems. And I'm super excited, like I said, to have you on because you have been in the industry for so long, Leslie. I mean, you and I believe, have been friends and connected in this industry since 2017. That was a
Yes,
while ago.
that is accurate.
And I'm sure you were in the industry way before we met.
Oh yeah, I got into the industry. My first time in the studio, I was like probably in the 11th grade, and then before I moved to Atlanta, I worked in radio. So that's a piece too that a lot of people don't know because when I moved out here, I didn't get back into radio. I didn't know anybody in radio, and by the time that I got into PR, I started getting my radio contacts, but I stayed with PR.
I love that. So, let's actually talk about this because you said you got your start in radio. You started when you were 11 years old, 11th grade. And I want you to detail for those who are listening in because Naturally Radio on YouTube said, yes, Miss Leslie tops PR. Let's get into your history. Talk to us about how you got your start. Where'd you go and how'd you end up where you are today?
Well, I'm going to try to make a long story short as much as I can. But my parents were in, I don't want to say the music industry per se, but my mother was a singer and a writer, and my father was a musician and a singer. And my mother, she had sickle cell anemia, so she passed away. But before she passed away, she had a song on the radio. Oh, wow. And I learned how to play. My dad started me playing the piano at 6 years old, the organ at 9, and then the saxophone at about I actually played the saxophone in the band. So that was like 7th grade.
Okay, I did too, actually, connecting.
What type of sax? Which one was it?
Don't ask me that, child. I just know it was a saxophone in middle school.
Yeah, because it's soprano, alto, and tenor sax. The big one is tenor. But you probably play alto. So I got that background. So I ended up meeting some people who, back in that time, people had a lot of home studios, and saw that experience about how the music production worked in the studio. And then from there, I made my major music business in college. I had moved to university. I moved to Memphis. And I went to the University of Memphis, and my major was music industry. And then what I did, I switched it over to communications and radio broadcasting. And then from there, I got an internship at the hip hop radio station, similar to those in Atlanta, Hot 107.9. It was Hot 107.9. Yeah, so that was Memphis. And so from there, I really started being able to be around people in the music industry because with radio, you have the labels bringing the artists to do interviews. That's when I started meeting a lot of celebrities. And so and my boss was the program director, and he was like, you should be taking pictures with the celebrities. So I started taking pictures and putting it on Facebook. Right. So anyway, from there, I moved to Atlanta, and that's when I got into public relations. When I was in Memphis, I like to, like I told you, my background in music. So I like to go to the studio. I like to write songs. Another thing the PD told me at the time, he said, songwriting makes a lot of money. That would be a great avenue for you to get in. So I was like, okay. So I had all that in my mind. So I moved to Atlanta to pursue songwriting. Started networking, volunteering at ASCAP and different music industry organizations. And I got a job in retail just so I could be out there. So long story short, there was an opportunity for a retail job in Jermaine Dupri's studio. So for me as a songwriter, I thought that was perfect. And it's history from there.
So that one thing I love about that is the fact that you have a very eclectic history. You started off in music, you got into songwriting, you had parents who were in the industry. And actually, I want to take this. Naturally Radiant says, my condolences and also mine as well on the loss of your mother. But we want to keep the legacy of your mom alive. So Naturally Radiant wants to know, what's her name, the song? Do you have the information for us?
Oh, that is so sweet. Yeah. So she was a Christian singer, and her name was Arlinda Faye Ellington.
Oh, spell that for me.
Arlenda, and it's Fay, and it's Ellington.
Is it Ellington?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep. So then, so anyway, the song was called "Where You Gonna Run." My mom was always trying to get people into heaven and get to know Jesus, and so she wrote a song called "Where You Gonna Run." And I actually remixed it a little bit because there was an a cappella males group that I wanted to get it to, and then the pandemic hit and they stopped singing. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you said you've been in the industry for a while now, and so let's talk about Top's PR firm first, because one thing I know is Top's PR firm is a very respected firm out of the Atlanta area, but also around the states as well. Because, like I said, you be everywhere, and I've seen you work with a lot of top clients. Again, you also work with small clients and medium clients, so you don't discriminate against name and status, which I
No,
appreciate.
as long as you have the dollar bill.
Period. So let's talk about that, because working in Atlanta, it's a very oversaturated industry. So how did you maintain your business before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and also afterwards?
I would say because we're a very results driven firm. So when you are able to do your job effectively and efficiently, people will talk about you, the word will get out. And I've received a lot of referrals. Most of my clients, I think a little bit before the pandemic and through the pandemic, have been referrals. And
Okay.
so like getting the word out there. You don't have to do much, just do the best you can and do the job right.
So you said you have to do the job right, and again, you're doing the darn thing out of Atlanta. Talk to us about the clients you have, because a lot of people are very interested. And like I said, we're out of Vegas, we're out of Chicago, we're live on many different social platforms, so you might get some calls. Okay, so let's talk to people about right. Pay them bills, Leslie. Let's talk about some of the clients that you have and some of the things you've booked them for.
Oh yeah, so our field of public relations is entertainment. We work with people who are in film and TV, or they are aspiring to be in film and TV. This main bit of advice that I can give people is that hire your publicist on the front end. A lot of times, and it's not, I get more people that are kind of new to publicity than have been burnt or felt like they had a bad experience. But this is how you combat that. And even if you have had a bad experience, remember that I had a consultation call today, and I was explaining this. Hire your publicists on the front end so that you can maximize whatever resources they can give you, the knowledge that they have. Because when you hire them after you've already done everything, then you're going to lack some things. And they're going to say, okay, let me see what I can do. Let me help you. Any publicist say, I promise you I can get you on this, and that. I would be a little leery. That's just my tidbit of advice, because unless they working with the media outlet or there's some type of, I don't know how it would be, but I think that it's best to the publicist to let the talent know that, hey, we need your information. We're going to put it together and package it up really pretty, and we're going to get it to every media relationship that we know, as many as we can. We're even going to do research to find new media outlets that fit your brand, that fit your demographic. And see, a lot of people don't do that. Now we're different. And I think that results-based driven work ethic is what brings people to us. And then we have returning clients, and that speaks volume as well.
That's awesome. When you have people coming back, that's one thing that we learn in radio when it comes to sponsorships. You can really show that you're doing the darn thing if you prove that people are coming back. Sometimes people don't even care about the results. They just care about the fact that the relationship is so strong, they come back for more. That's good. I love that. Now, I want to ask you this, because a lot of people are trying to get into the entertainment industry. A lot of people are still struggling getting into the entertainment industry. And one thing I know, it took me a while to understand the difference between a manager, a publicist, and a talent agent. And there's a lot of people right now who are, Entertainment 101 listening in right now. And I want you to explain to them, what's the difference between all three?
Oh, I love that question. It's like, I don't know, it's just so like book worthy. So with a publicist, think about publicity, think about promotions, putting their knowledge and talents together to help you create a brand and then get that brand out there. So majority of people hire us to get them in front of the camera, to get them in TV, radio, magazines, blogs, just to do interviews. So the media is they're trying to get the connection to get that audience. That's one of the main things that we get hired for, and that is a form of publicity. So think of it that way. Now, in a sense, a publicist can also be a manager. They can be a manager of publicity, or if they do have the experience, they can manage certain assets of what the talent of the client is doing. For instance, we can do admin. Well, I can. So our firm a little bit different. We have a lot of different components to it, but there's an admin component where if you need somebody to help you keep your calendar or answer phones or customer service, I have a lot of different other industry experiences. So you know what I and I tell people this, I take everything that I learned in every industry I've worked for, whether it was at a bookstore, whether it was at a restaurant, being a waitress. I did all that was out when I was in college, whether it was a call center, customer service, and then retail. I had no retail experience. Jamie, can I share just a really quick? Why are you laughing?
Because I'm laughing because he's like, I had no experience, but I did it anyway. That's how I be. When you need some money, you be seen.
Absolutely. And that's why I want to tell you this really, I'm a short, inspiring story. I tell people this, and it's about what you just said. When I moved to Atlanta, I didn't know anybody. I had somebody told me about a job fair in Atlanta, and it was for Forever 21. I got a shout Forever 21 out. And so when I moved here, you had to go. It was the district manager came and she said, okay, everybody that is here for a management position, go to this line over here. So again, I had no retail experience. But what you think Leslie Cops did?
I went to the management experience.
The management line because retail didn't pay a lot, and I'm in this new big city and all this stuff. So long story short, ended up hiring me. It was they were just building Linux, the Forever 21 in Linux, and she said, because you have been in your past job so long, we want to give you a management position, but in a smaller store in Kennesaw, and it worked out. And so I even learning, things with customer service and stuff like that, and just even fashion. And we're gonna talk about Stitch Me Please too. So just even that fashion element and selling clothes, I loved it, but it wasn't a situation where I wanted to move up the ladder. And so I ended up, like I said, meeting the young lady, and she worked at in Jermaine Dupri's studio as the publicist. And that is how I got into publicity. So once I got into publicity, then I kind of stopped working in retail as much until I eventually, no more.
Makes sense. So one thing that I've always told people in my industry, or people who want to get into the industry, remember that the industry is not just in front of the camera and behind the camera. What I mean by that is you're not just the star, and you're not just the person actually holding the camera. There are so many different jobs behind the camera that are the exact same as regular jobs on the street, just in the entertainment industry. Like you said, you have the wardrobe, aka fashion. You have hair and makeup, aka being a barber, a hairdresser, a makeup artist. You have camera work, you have transport, you have all those different things. And so one thing that I really appreciate you for saying is that you didn't let a specific job stop you from taking it, because you understood that transferable skills are a thing. And you allowed those transferable skills to be used in your current work, which is why, let's get into this. You have Stitch Me Please. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. You know what, Jamie? I messed up. I did not answer your last question. I was supposed to tell you what an agent was. So
go ahead.
Between the agent, so the manager, they keep track of everything. There's different types of managers too. The business manager, personal manager. So there's different types of managers that keep track of things. And then the agent finds you. The agent finds work for you. That's what an agent does.
Makes sense.
So can help you that too. But yeah.
So just going to reiterate, publicists, they're the ones who actually get you seen in front of the camera. They're the ones who get you interviews. They're the ones who get you. They're the ones who get you out in the media. So anything media, whether that's magazines, radio, TV, red carpets, you're literally the point of your job is to make your artist or your client get seen. And so that makes sense. Okay. Then the manager, they're the ones who do everything behind the scenes as it pertains to building the client. Making sure everything matches their brand, making sure they get them in the right places that fit who they are, and then the agent actually gets them booked for roles. Now, Kara on Instagram said, YouTube says, "How did the recent strike affect you?"
So, which question you want me to answer first? Your last question or Karen's question?
Let's do this one since Kara wanted to get a question. Yeah, how did the recent strike affect you?
Okay, hey Kara, I know it, Kara. So with the recent strike, it affected more so actors and people who aren't filming TV. So I have different areas of entertainment. So outside of film and TV, we also work with music industry and public speakers, and most of them are authors and things of that sort. So with that being said, it affected the PR side in a sense where, I don't know if this makes sense, but we were able to help our clients do different things with the same thing in a different way. So for instance,
podcasts and virtually and social media and stuff.
There you go, Jamie. That's it. That's exactly it.
I've been in the industry for a while. Fun fact, I actually used to work for a publicist. Just saying.
You better shake them shoulders. You better shimmy on them. So that's exactly what it is. Just for instance, when the pandemic hit, I had a client who was getting ready to do a TV show. So we transformed it into an IG Live.
Nice.
So, and that's for just trying to pivot. So we had people that hit us up from the entertainment field that were working on projects and they just needed help to do like put it on streaming, stuff like that. So there was ways to kind of pivot, but your actors, that really hurt them the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
before we take a break, wait. So before we take a break, we're gonna get into Stitch Me Please after the break. But someone else wants to know, can you kind of go over again like the clients that you do you do publicity for and some of the gigs that you got them seen at, or some of the places that you've gotten them seen at, excuse me.
Oh wow. Well, we get invited to a lot of different events and for that have carpets and stuff like that. For instance, like when The Color Purple comes out, like or any movie that's really big, there's like a red carpet screening. So we always invite our clients to that. Gary with the T on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
I love Gary. Yeah.
Gary. We worked with Tyler Perry's actors on different shows, like If Loving You Is Wrong. We have entrepreneurs and public speakers like Dr. Felicia Phillips. We help her with her MogulCon event every year. We even work with ministers. And we also help build brands as well. So, for instance, the New Black Wall Street Market in Stonecrest, Georgia, before they even finished their development, they brought us on, which was great. And that's a new attraction near Atlanta. And so very, just being able to assist and help get the media out there and doing national press as they grow is something that we do. So that's just a little bit. But check out our Instagram at Tops PR Firm, and you will see a list of, at Tops PR Firm. And then you will see a list of the different clients and then also like some of the events and activations that we've attended or went to.
Okay, awesome. I love that. I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell because you are literally dropping these gems. I love it. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Stitch Me Please. We're going to talk about the Pen Den. We're going to get all into that great stuff. So I need you to stick around. This is WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM out of the Elgin in the Chicagoland area. And also KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM out of the Las Vegas area. Don't go anywhere. This is a quick break with the Jaime Dee Show. Coming back, we have more Leslie Tops. Stay tuned.
A recent Gallup poll indicated that 38% of Americans are putting off healthcare because of financial concerns, the highest ever recorded. I'm Dr. Bob Martin, here to serve you every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Millions of Americans are seeking health advice that will not cost an arm and a leg, so I offer health tips and advice absolutely free. Listen to my show, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM, the voice of the Valley and the home of Radio Shopping Show.
Ever take your car through the auto emissions lane only to experience the sinking feeling that your car has failed the test? Don't fret. Let Meineke at 376 Sundown in South Elgin fix the problem for you. Meineke's mechanics will determine the exact problem with your vehicle and suggest necessary repairs with Meineke's diagnostic service. Pass that test with help from the trained Meineke technicians. Call today for your appointment. 847-888-9644. That's 847-888-9644.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST and live in Las Vegas. We're also live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Chicago and Elgin area. Hey, if you're just now tuning in, you're missing out because we went over some daily news and we introduced the wonderful Leslie Tops. And she was getting into how she got her space in the PR industry, how she's worked her way up, how she's gained relevant experience to make her who she is today, and how not only is she an eccentric character in Atlanta who was doing things that other people have not even done yet, she's now taking her talents and moving that into other spaces while simultaneously still doing Top's PR firm. Talk about magic, talk about awesome, and talk about Black girl magic. So without further ado, let's welcome back in Leslie Tops.
Hey.
So we left off last break talking about Top's PR firm and how you got into the industry and just your history of relevant experience that made you who you are today. And it's 2024, new me, new you, new us, new businesses, right? And you now have the Pinned In, and you also have Stitch Me Please, which we actually had on the live radio show probably like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this because these are your businesses and they're flourishing already. So let's start off with Stitch Me Please. What is it and why did you create it?
Well, Stitch Me Please, that word innovative, doing things that are different and still at the same time trendy and that is coming at the right time. That's what I love to do, even when it comes to music. And so with Stitch Me Please, I noticed that there really isn't a platform for the clothing industry. Now, you do have the fashion industry. I see things all about like music industry and sometimes even health and beauty. Like I see conferences like wellness, but not for clothes. So I say, what about that? And then my background at Forever 21 and what I learned about selling clothes and just like fashion, they have these little shops that I have all these different names that I only like you have to work there to know what the names are unless you ask. But anyway, so I thought that was really cute. And so I decided to create a space for that. And then we did a virtual event online for a small fee and people actually came out, bought tickets and had an amazing time.
Yeah,
So
I was actually there. It was great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And some of my listeners also were in the chat as well. I was like, oh, it was working. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
That is amazing. But yeah, so we're getting ready to next is we're going to have another virtual event that's coming up. And I'm going to get the dates for that. So we got another virtual event. We're going to do a VIP mixer event where we're going to meet up in person. And then we are getting ready for a conference. And so just if you follow Stitch Me Please on on Instagram, then we're going to be sure to give all the updates there with the information.
Nice. So you talked about how you created Stitch Me Please and what was the purpose for creating a space for it in this industry where fashion is seen, but sometimes not heard. And with this new space of Stitch Me Please, where do you hope it goes? I mean, yes, it's in Atlanta, but we have social media. And like you said, your first virtual event was on social media. And you had people from all over the world. Yes, I saw some of my audience members from Dallas, some people from Arizona, some people from LA who were in the chat. And that's going to cause you to have to expand. So where do you see Stitch Me Please going in the future?
Well, you think so? I definitely want everything I do to be as big as global if possible. It's just a matter of organizing that. What does it look like you said, the World Wide Web, even starting it there, I think we're going to have to keep it there. Like there's always going to be something virtually that we can do through Stitch Me Please. There's always going to be some type of educational element. There's always going to be some type of networking element. And so I don't know. I mean, you got us thinking already because I mean, we just started it, but I mean, to take it to different cities, that would be a blessing. And you can support. People can support Stitch Me Please. We're looking for partners if you have something you would like to promote, or if you'd like to even help us with some of the things that are needed to get this event taken care of. You could first thing post what we're doing on your social media to promote it. And then if you'd like to attend, support it, and then tell other people about it. And if you like to donate to the cause. I mean, there's something that you do and you want help promoting, then we have sponsorship opportunities. So it's a lot that we're going to be addressing and getting out there online.
Well, I wouldn't be me. I would be Jaime Dee if I didn't shoot my shot. And I think Stitch Me Please, I believe Stitch Me Please is going to go global and also get bigger than what you expected it to be. So if you ever need a host in person.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Jaime Dee me, please.
I will. You know what to do. Yeah.
Yes, I do. And so, talking about Stitch Me Please, you have your hands full with Top's PR firm, Stitch Me Please. I know you have different partners that help you with both, but now you have the Pinned In. And I don't know how you do it. Look, I'm on the radio by myself, doing a lot of stuff, then also on TV, then also doing hosting events. And that's already a lot. But you are running 3 businesses
Yeah.
Why the Pen Den, and how is it actually faring in the industry now?
Yeah. So I actually started the Pen Den in 2022. And I started everything, and then I ran into a situation that made me kind of hold back a little bit.
Okay.
And I got really busy in PR. So we are getting ready to, and actually getting ready. We've already came back together, and we have some awesome creators on our team who are writers and producers. So what we're looking for are people who can help to create music, who have a passion in the industry, and we are getting ready to do like, I really can't say too much. I'm trying to figure out
Right.
how it works. I'm kind of careful. I don't know if you can tell. I'm like, well,
Right. Come on, it's a safe space.
but, well, yeah, on YouTube. Because we're revamping some things.
Okay.
And I will say this: we are getting ready. We're making music to sell music. So we're doing that as a team. So that's one of the main things. And then we're also using this platform as a nonprofit organization so that we can like educate students or educate people who want, to learn more about the industry. And so whether that's a networking event or we're doing speaking engagements or any type of fundraising, things of that nature.
Okay, so let's take a step back then. If we can't say too much, let's educate the people who are listening live right now. What is the Pen Den?
Okay, so the Pen Den is a group of producers and songwriters who make music. If you want to keep it simple. And the reason we make music, people make music these days, I'm going to tell you, to make money. And it's transitioned into that more now, I feel, than ever, I want to say. I mean, I'm sure back in the day, it was to make money too. Like people was hanging people off the balcony, right, with their money or whatever the case may be. But the point is that I just want to bring a space that it's fun and it's like open and it's free. And they're not ready for it. People are not ready. My team ain't even ready yet. They're like, what are we doing again? I said, you're not going to be complaining when the money comes. You're going to be thanking it in.
Hello?
And they're like, yeah, Leslie, you right. Yeah, I know.
Listen, so new year, new money.
It's what? Okay. so we just come together and do that. And that's what it's about. And then having the dream and the want to be in the industry on the production side, it's like, you have to, I mean, for me, I just decided to create a platform for that. A business structure.
So you spoke about money, and also previously in the show, you said that you used to be a songwriter, and you also were told that songwriters make a lot of money. So as somebody who has his hand in a lot of different parts of the industry, I know the songwriters and producers actually make more money than the talent, especially if the talent is not getting endorsements or sponsorships. So I want you to break this down, because you did say, well, I said new year, new money, but you're also saying that once that money comes in, you won't be complaining. Talk about how you're going to be able to actually I'm trying to make this question good so that you don't say too much. Hold on, could you laugh? Hold on,
I laughed because you made of something that was a joke sound very serious.
But it's good though. It's good because I have a master's in broadcast journalism. Okay, right. So let's talk about this, because you created a business back in 2022 that's going to excel in the years to come. That's going to allow people to make money off of their songwriting and their producing work. How though? Because there's a lot of people in the industry that are stopping people from getting their money. And you know it's true. It's true.
Okay, I'll put it to you this way. We're coming together. It's different ways, but there's different ways to sell music. You can sell music to artists. You can sell music to record labels. You can work with a publishing company and make music and get your music in sync and stuff like that. So there's a division that we specialize in, that in a way that we're going to make the money. So it's one of those. Yeah, that's how that works.
Okay. Now we only have 2 minutes left, so I'm gonna try to get these 2 questions in. One, a listener wants to know: would you ever allow somebody to shadow you, or intern with you if they're looking to get into the industry?
Child, people have been shadowing and interning me for years. We're doing that right now. I'm actually getting ready to hire. So if you go on my LinkedIn, you'll see a posting we're hiring right now. Okay. For interns, sales, and then also music industry stuff.
Okay. All right. Last question before we let you go. And this is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one, because I know you can't give away all your secrets, but someone on Instagram actually wants to know, how do you find these opportunities to get your clients seen?
Well, it's about relationships and connections. So you have to know what's going on. So when I have people, interns, and stuff like that, I have them do a lot of research. So I want to know what's going on. Who are you following on Instagram so that we can keep, be up to date and what's happening in the entertainment industry. And so when you know, then you know. And are you get invited? Are you reach out and say, hey, I have so-and-so. We would love to get access. I was just recently at the Music One Fest.
Okay.
And we support A3C Festival. That's another music industry event. And we always go to like the movie screenings and stuff like that. So it's a lots and lots of fun. But you got to know what's going on. And then that's how you plug everybody in.
You got to know what's going on. You got to find those emails and you got to make those connections. That's the biggest part.
Google it, Jamie.
You can't. And I know that for a fact, because one of the biggest things that I've learned is that there are certain things that you may be able to find on the web, but majority of things you have to find in person. You have to have conversations with those marketing and media people in person, because a lot of times they don't post online. So you're not wrong. It's a tough process, but you're doing a good job. Leslie, thank you so much for coming on the Jaime Dee Show. I really appreciate you. How was your experience?
We didn't get to your last question.
What was the last question? Which we did?
I thought you had one more question. Okay.
No. I asked both questions. Look, we already out of time.
Oh, okay.
We'll be live in Vegas and Chicago, so we got to cut off at a certain time. But
nice.
We'll let you go. Let everybody know how they can follow you and how they can support you and your 3 businesses.
Absolutely. I did put it in the YouTube chat, but it's at Tops PR Firm. And then you can follow at PenDen.org, and then also stitch.me.pls on IG.
Love that. Thank you so much, Leslie. It was an absolute pleasure. We finally had you on. Yes. Hey, thank you so much. We're going to stay connected. I know I'm going to get some more of your clients, but we may be able to have you back on for part 2. So keep doing some amazing work in Atlanta, because we got some more stuff to talk about later in the future. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Leslie. Have a good rest of your day. All right, everybody. This was the Jaime Dee Show live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin and the Chicagoland area. If you want to promote your business, products, services, or music, hit us up. info@JamieD.com. I love y'all. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out.